are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to
Technical issues.
Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to.
Good. What the hell's going on? Am I on the stage? What is happening? Hello, can I? We were on the stage. I don't know what the hell has happened.
I can hear you, but I don't know if anyone else can.
Right. What can you see on the screen?
Nothing. Blank.
Blank. Yeah, that's what I can see. StreamYard's just done something. And
Emma can hear it. They can hear us, though.
They can hear us. Right. You see us. Oh, we can get the cats back. Right, now.
Right, well, hang on. So it's unfortunate you can't see us because currently we were actually wearing coconuts and grass skirts and doing a dance.
Yeah, right. I'm going to try.
Yeah, sorry, Emma. Emily asked me. I would like to apologise, everyone. It's me again.
At the stage. Hello? All right. Now we're up, and if I put that in, yeah, that looks like the way it should do. But whenever I take that out, here we go. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed a thing, as is StreamYard's a cunt for changing all the settings. And now we've got that. It's up and running. It's working. I would like to introduce my good friend Paka. What about you, chum? And by the way, I'll get round to hellos and stuff. Sorry, it's been a bit confusing already. But there you go. Paka, what about you, chum?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, hello, everyone. Yeah, thanks for having me. Lovely to be on. How are we all doing?
Not too bad. Apart from the tech issues that we had at the start there, we're good. And the interesting thing is, prior to the show, whenever we were backstage, it was all working fine. Fuck knows what happened. But
you should have seen it, people. It was so slick.
Yeah. We'll do a couple of hellos. Linda Hunter's in from down under. What about you, chum? Bass is in. What about you? Paka is in the chat and on the screen. Mr. Budgie Burgers are the best comments on this internet. Anglo-Saxon, evening, brother. Glad to have you aboard. Edmund's in. Yeah, well, it's definitely Patrick's Day. We'll debate as well or not he's a saint. Spoiler alert. He's not. The wonderful Emma G's in. What about you, Saxy? That's Anglo, Emma, Anglo. Peter Benton's in. What about? Oh, yes, coming up soon on the show, Mr. Peter Benton has agreed, and I will cajole him until we actually get him on. Amanda Lee's in. What about you, chum? Heaven, nothing. Yeah. There we go. Any excitement, Mr. Packer? Oh, you've been on streams with the Chris of Dangerfield.
Yeah, I've already been on for 3 hours today. Yeah, yeah. I'm doing. I'm right now. I feel like I'm covering for Sensen.
Yes.
About 8 hours streaming a day because Sensen's not here. He'll be back in a minute, and then I'll be all right.
Yeah. It's take all the opportunities while they're there.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll do a couple of shout outs. Tomorrow night at 7, Jack London and Ragnar Arnspear will be broadcasting. And I believe they have a Welsh guy, Big Joe Marsh. Would I be correct, Mr. Packer?
It is Joe Marsh. Yeah, he's good.
Yep. So get yourselves over to that. A couple of other shows I'd like to give a shout out to. One being Courage is a Cure, Australian girl, Robin. Keeps you up to date with what's going on around the world. RPW Media, Jimmy from Philly's brother, does a show on a Friday night, does a lot of the other stuff as well, to be fair. The one on Friday night's the one that I currently drop into. The speed of fucking memory recall that man is awesome. It's off the chart. He's really good. And he switched on across all the topics. And if you want deeper dive his media thing, he's not just a YouTuber, he's got a whole media thing with lots of information on it. If you get yourself over to that. Where else do I need to give a shout out to? Yes. And every night at 8:30, you have the Dave Waffle House show. And it is quite amazing, quite apart from the Friday night duck race, which is becoming an institution. Over 700 ducks quacking down that river. Last night, Freezy Peach come in as a winner. Plenty of ways to get free ducks, leave comments underneath, take part in the show. But here's the thing, Mr. Packer. See this we've got here? Great Britain, United Kingdom, Great Britain, and Northern Ireland. We have a whole bunch of people that would be very happy if our opinions, the working class that want this back to being looking like England, looking like Scotland, looking like Wales, looking like Ulster, they would all be very happy if we somehow achieved that. There's a whole bunch of them, right? Yeah.
Right.
But they also think that we are some form of low-life knuckle draggers because everything they've ever been told about us comes from the BBC and the Guardian and all that sort of stuff, and we've been painted in a very bad light. Would you agree with that as well?
Yes.
Right. Now, if we're going to have any real change, we need to get those people that would support us if they knew the truth. We need to get them to stand beside us and listen to us. Is that a fair point?
Yeah.
Right. Now, here's the interesting thing. See if you invite your friends along to Dave's Waffle House for a Friday night duck race. They're not going to be blasted and bombarded with, what type of nationalist are you? How far out are you? Do you hate blah, blah, blah? No, it's just a bunch of people having fun and watching a duck race.
Yeah.
And your normally friends could sit in that chat without becoming upset or offended. But then they will start to notice that everybody in that group has got similar views on immigration and how our country works and the justice system and whatnot. But they've already seen us as normal people that they could be associated with.
Some people in that group have very, very different views. In fact, I think, if I think of all the places I hang out, people in that group have the most different views to mine
Yeah.
on all kinds of fronts.
Yes. But we.
They're a lovely bunch, though.
Oh yes. But the thing about it is, pretty much everybody. We can talk about immigration stuff, and Dave does that at times and whatnot with his TikToks and what's going on in America and his support of Donald Trump and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everything else. On that, we agree. Everything else.
Yeah, everything else. But we need places that we can bring people that aren't as far advanced as us, and they're not going to get chased out. If you know what I mean. And that's where I think things like the Waffle House are a very necessary resource as a staging post. So we need to get our opinions with the middle class and have them accept us. And I think places like the Waffle House are where that happens. In much the same way, like in World War One, the working class and the middle and upper class figured everything out together and decided that there was going to be a representation of People's Act, because during the war and they had interacted with each other, went, fuck, those people aren't that bad. They're not what we were told about them. So that's where I think things like the Waffle House become important. And apart from that, it's still a fucking bloody good show. Come along, have some fun, have a laugh, enjoy yourself. And Brad James is stuck nearly one. Yes. Yes, get the ducks going down the river. But it also provides a good social function, and the Friday night duck race is it's a thing where even if you haven't been in all week, you can call in on a Friday night and catch up with everybody, much like you would have done in the pub in the olden days when we had a functioning community.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, it is basically that. It's a community.
Yeah.
Come in. It's like a slightly different chat to what you get here, or a slightly different chat to what you get at Dangerfield.
But I'll tell you what, I don't think
it's all kind of the same.
I don't think too many leftists would stay. You know what I mean? It's enough on our side to filter out what we don't want. Which is another thing we need to remember and realize. You only need to be a little bit to the right to filter out everything that you don't like, because they'll fucking run away from it. Budgie's digital duck's head was found in a mafia beard.
Yeah, mine was found on a pavement in Edinburgh.
Yeah. Right. There we go. That's all the shout outs. And I suppose we will talk a little bit about Mr. Patrick. We'll start off with the Encyclopedia Britannica. May as well get the what they're saying about St. Patrick out of the way first, with the Encyclopedia Britannica. StreamYard. Present. Oh, actually, before we do that, no, well, yes, we'll do this first. I was listening to some Old English poetry, and it's quite amazing how that language sounds. In fact, whenever I play some to you later, I'm going to have a little bit of poll, see what people think of it. Yep, right. Here we go. From the Encyclopedia Britannica, St. Patrick. St. Patrick flourished in 5th century Britain and Ireland. His feast day is the 17th of March, and he is the patron saint and national apostle of Ireland. He is credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland and was probably responsible in part for the Christianization of the Picts and the Anglo-Saxons. Interesting. He was in Ireland and he Christianized Picts and Anglo-Saxons. He is known from only two short works, The Confessional, his spiritual autobiography, and his letter to Claudius, a denunciation of the British mistreatment of Irish Christians. Oh, fuck. He was the first person to say pure fucking mix. What a shocker. Patrick was born in Britain and was of a Romanized family. They guess. They haven't told you it's a guess, but when he was 16 years old, Irish raiders tore him from the villa of his father, Carpitius, a deacon and the minor local official, and carried Patrick into slavery in Ireland. For a start, Packa, have you heard much about Irish raiders coming to England at that time?
No.
Have you heard of Viking raiders coming at that time?
From Ireland?
No, Viking raiders. You've heard of Viking raiders, haven't you? Yeah, right. Yeah, they came to England quite a lot, didn't they?
Well, I heard more about Viking raiders than Irish. Yeah.
I don't believe there was any Irish raiders to England.
No.
Because in Ireland at that time they were too busy fighting off the Vikings, same as the English were. But not that I'm questioning Encyclopedia Britannica or anything. He spent 6 bleak years as a herdsman, during which time he turned with favour to his faith. Upon dreaming that a ship in which he was to escape was ready, he fled his enslaver and found a passage to Britain. There he came near to starvation and suffered a second brief captivity before he was reunited with his family. Therefore, he may have paid a short visit to the continent. In other words, no fuck all about this guy. The best known passage in the Confessional tells of a dream after his return to Britain, in which the victorious delivered him a letter headed "The Voice of the Irish." As Patrick read it, he seemed to hear a certain company of Irish beseeching him to walk once more among them. Deeply moved, he said, "I could read no more." Nonetheless, because of the shortcomings of his education, he was reluctant for a long time to respond to the call. Even on the eve of his re-embarkation to Ireland, he was beset by doubts for the task. Once in the field, however, his hesitation vanished. Utterly confident in the Lord, he journeyed far and wide, baptizing and confirming with untrained zeal. In diplomatic fashion, he brought gifts to a chieftain here and a lawgiver there, but accepted none from any. He was, on at least one occasion, he was cast into chains. On another, he addressed with lyrical pathos a last farewell to his converts who had been slain or kidnapped by the soldiers of Canonised. Careful to deal fairly with the Celtic tribes, there were Celts in Ireland at that time. He nevertheless lived in constant danger of martyrdom. The evocation of such instance of what we call his laborious escapade was his reply to a charge, to his great relief, endorsed by his ecclesial superiors in Britain. Anybody that's interested in going back to common law and stuff, please remember that it is connected to ecclesial law, and therefore certain people get to get tried in a totally different court, and there can be no rule for all. That he had originally sought office for the sake of office, in fact that he was humble-minded man, pouring forth with a continuous paean of thanks for his Maker for having chosen him as the instrument whereby multitudes who had worshipped idols and unclean things had become the people of God. The phenomenal success of Patrick's mission was is not, however, the full measure of his personality. Since the writings have come to a better understanding, it is increasingly recognized that, despite their occasional incoherence, they mirror a truth and simplicity of the rarest quality. So they're saying that since see what it says that writings have come to be better understood, that means changed in Netherlands. Not since Augustus the Hippo had any religious diarist bared his innermost soul as Patrick did in his writings. As A.D. Blinchley, the most austere cleric of Patrick, scholars put it, the moral and spiritual greatness of the man shines through every stumbling sentence of his rustic Latin. So, also, he was writing in Latin. It is not possible to say with any assurance when Patrick was born. There are, however, a number of indications. All right, they don't know when he was born. There are a number of indicators that his missionary career occurred within the second half of the 5th century, so anywhere in that 500 years. The Canonised letter, his mention of the Franks as still heathen, indicates that the letter must have been written before 451. The date generally accepted as that of the Franks' eruption into Gaul, as far as the Somme River in 496. Seems like the Somme has been fought over 1 or 2 times as well. When they were baptized in Mass, Patrick, who speaks of himself as having evangelized heathen Ireland, is not to be confused with Plautius, sent by Pope Constantine I in 431 as the first bishop to the Irish believers. And no, actually, the correct quote from Constantine was he sent Plautius to minister to the Scotti who worshipped Christ. The Scotti are, but they have called them Irish here because they've at least not called them Celts. Towards the end of Patrick's life, he retired to Saw, a village in the former County Down in Northern Ireland, where he may have written his confessional. It is said that an angel conveyed to him that he was to die at Saw, the site of his first church, despite his first wishes to die within the ecclesiastical metropolis of Ireland. His last rites were admitted by St. Tusuk. The legends. Before the end of the 7th century, Patrick had become a legendary figure, and the legends have continued to grow. One of those would be that he have drove the snakes of Ireland into the sea to their destruction. Any idea what that story is about, Pekka? I'm going to check a chat.
No.
Right. Well, you've heard of those pagan druid people, haven't you?
Yep.
Right. Well, one of their most common signs was a snake. So, Patrick driving the snakes into the sea is a metaphor for him genociding the pagan faiths and transferring these people on the Christians. That's what the snakes are all about. And I was taught that when I was about 6.
Sounds very anti-druid.
Yeah, it's very anti-druid.
Did not druid lives matter?
Yep. Apparently not. Well, the druids got to continue living. What they didn't get to do was continue with their religious practices.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what they didn't get to do was continue to jump out of their vehicles and rush police, even though they were being told to stand still and put their hands in the air. But go on.
No, it's not bad. One of those drove the snakes from Ireland, their destruction. The 12th century claims that Patrick released 33 people, Raised 33 people from the dead. Calling bullshit, never happened. Some of whom are said to have been deceased for many years. He also reportedly prayed for the provision of food for hungry sailors traveling by land through a desolate area, and a herd of swine miraculously appeared. There was pigs in Ireland. What a shock. Another legend, probably but pigs was probably our most common food type at that time. There were more pigs than cow. Another legend, probably the most popular, is that the shamrock, which has him explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, three persons among God, to an unbeliever by showing an example of the three-leaf plants in one stalk. Traditionally, the Irish have worn shamrocks, the national flower of Ireland, on their lapels on St. Patrick's Day, March of 17th. I don't know if I'm going to read all these pilgrimage bits. Yeah, we've got enough of that. I want to check the chat, and Sinn Féin snakes are still there. Yep, Sinn Féin snakes are still there. No, there never has been snakes. There's just been druids. This whole piss up is a celebration of a genocide of a religious belief, is where we're at with that. So I'm just checking. Yep, nothing I really need to jump into. Right. Nah. So that is your basic bitch St. Patrick's story. Actually, I'm gonna. Yep, Celtic Church. This is strange. The early Christian church of the British Isles, founded probably in the 3rd century, highly Aztec in character, it contributed to the conversion of the Anglo-Saxons in the 7th century, but its organising and customs, for instance, concerning the calculation of the date of Easter, soon gave way to Rome, and it survived in Wales until the 11th century in Scotland. That's not the Celtic church he's talking about, because the Welsh are not Celts. Actually, do you remember I was talking to you about the poetry thing? Check this out. This is a bit of Anglo-Saxon poetry. Have a listen to this.
Thonne sulg on sleath, somod at geidre, erman an hogen, oft gebindath. Thincheth himin mod, theat he his mondraiten, klippe on kisse, on kneo lekke, honda on heofud, swa he wilcom eir in giardagum, gif stolas braak, thonne on waekneth eft winlas guma, geschith him beforen, felwa wegas.
Pat, I've got a question for you.
Go on.
Did that sound more like Irish or Welsh?
I was going to say, just out of interest, if you played that backwards, it actually sounds like Penny Lane by the Beatles. But no, it sounds more like what or Welsh?
Yeah, Welsh.
Or what?
Yeah, or Irish. This is Old English. This is how.
Either.
But it's closer to Welsh than it is Irish.
Is it?
Yeah. All the accents are similar to the Welsh. Where am I? Where did that go? Right. I play a little bit of this. Listen to the way it tails off the end and the noises.
Athenan bryn thuglas, braidd yn pfeifra, chreos yn chrym ond snaw, hagale gemenged.
That is.
Go on, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Because they all spoke the same stuff. Now the language that the Celts spoke is similar to that to which the Irish. Well, it's getting kind of hard to tell because Irish has been bastardized and reinvented a couple of times, but it's not that. This is a but Anglo says Germanic, and to be totally honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what Germanic really sounds like. I've heard more Welsh and Irish, but I could give you that, and it would make sense. This idea that everything in Britain at that time was Celtic is definitely wrong. The Welsh were not Celts. The Welsh decided they were Celts somewhere about the 1800s, about 1830. They woke up and decided to identify as Celtic. But yet, with all we call like a Celtic church and all that, I'm going to take you out and see what happens. We're back to where we were. It's amazing. And with that, I think we'll have a little musical interlude, seeing as we're going that direction. And I think we will play on Ilky Moor by Tat.
I'm sorry, can you say that in the correct accent?
I can't.
Does that mean?
Yeah.
On Ilky Moor by Tat?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Righto.
Yeah. We're going to play on Ilky Moor by Tat. But yeah, no, out of ability for pronouncing that correctly.
It took me a second to figure out what you said.
Stop that screen. Why are we all weird now? What the hell's going on? Present. Share screen. Our icons have now went weird.
Where hast thou been since I saw thee? On Ilkley Moor by Tat. Where hast thou been since I saw thee? Where hast thou been since I saw thee? On Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat. There's been a courty Mary Jane on Ilkley Moor by Tat. There's been a courty Mary Jane, there's been a courty Mary Jane. On Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat. Thou go and get thee death a cowl on Ilkley Moor by Tat. Thou go and get thee death a cowl, thou go and get thee death a cowl. On Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat. Then we shall have to bury thee on Ilkley Moor by Tat. Then we shall have to bury thee, then we shall have to bury thee. On Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat, on Ilkley Moor by Tat. Then the worms will come and net thee up on Ilklamo Batat. Then to worms will come and at thee up, then to worms will come and at thee up. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then to ducks will come and net up to worms, on Ilklamo Batat. Then to ducks will come and net up to worms, then to ducks will come and net up to worms, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then us'll come and net up to ducks, on Ilklamo Batat. Then us'll come and net up to ducks, then us'll come and net up to ducks, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. Then us'll all have it and thee, on Ilklamo Batat. Then us'll all have it and thee, then us'll all have it and thee. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat. That's where we'll get our Owen back, on Ilklamo Batat. That's where we'll get our Owen back, that's where we'll get our Owen back. On Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat, on Ilklamo Batat.
And miraculously, the shadow over the icons.
So you'd think with that everybody else would just leave us alone, wouldn't you?
Yes. And the moral of that, to me, I could be wrong, but my taking of that is you have invaders that come over and they go with your women, and then you get your death of cold. Then the ducks eat you. Then we eat the ducks, and you fucking lost again. Why would you do it? Did he? Yes, he did bring ducks into it, Mr. Burger. He did indeed, because the worms would come and eat that up, and then the ducks would come and eat up the worms. So yeah, and then we eat up the ducks, and then we've got you. That's what happened to the Romans, and why there's no more Romans here. Now, I got a question for you, Pat, about St. Patrick. Many graves you reckon he would have?
Oh, what if he's a saint? Well, then generally they get torn to bits, and you get a toenail here, and a lock of hair over there, and a thumb bone there, and a heel there, and a bit of shin over there. So about 7.
Yeah, yeah. We're about to dive into that. This is an article about the fucking where is the saint's body is what it's on, and we'll give this a read. Yes, so just where is the saint's body? Despite his fame, the exact location of the body of St. Patrick has been a bone of contention for over a millennium. This article is now available on the Brainstorm podcast, blah, blah, blah. Right, that's just where you can get it. The veneration of saints' relics or remains has always been an integral part of the religious experience in Ireland as elsewhere. Despite declining church attendance, millions of Irish people were drawn by tours of St. Teresa's bodily relics to Ireland in 2000. They take the dead people on tour to make money. What? Paca, did you know about that shit?
No.
No. Well, Seems like St. Teresa's bits and bones and shit were took to Ireland for a tour. Yeah. Indeed, the widespread media coverage of the discovery in April 2018 of the heart of St. Lawrence O'Toole,
Was
stolen
this
from
with Boyzone or Westlife when they did this? 2001, 2012. Was that Boyzone or Westlife? I can't remember.
It could have been either one. Get her up on stage, real boy.
Yeah.
Yes, the heart of Lawrence O'Toole was stolen from Dublin's Christ Church Cathedral 6 years earlier, indicates the ongoing fascination with the relics in modern Ireland. I would disagree with that statement. I would say that Ireland is indeed not modern. But there you go. But what are the relics of St. Patrick? Celebrated 27th of Ireland and the inspiration for Tourism Ireland's hugely successful global greenings. Yes, so Tourism Ireland, it's those people that get the river in Chicago turned green and kill all the fish because of no fucking air. One day you have a load of drunk people there and a green river, and the next day you have a load of people with a hangover and dead fish. Also turning all the different monuments like the pyramids and fucking different places, turning them green because potato. Despite his fame, the exact location of the body of St. Patrick has been a bone of contention for over a millennium. It is claimed that Patrick is buried outside Downpatrick Cathedral. Yes, it is. I have actually been to that spot. I may return to spit in the fucker, but that's a whole other different matter. A large granite stone marks the spot, placed there in the early 20th century to prevent pilgrims from taking fistfuls of grave soil away with them. Yeah, because not only would they take fucking bits of the body, they'd just take the soil from around them as well. Mad. However, the tradition of Patrick's burial and this location is influenced by the late 12th century propaganda, some 700 years after Patrick's demise, by the Anglo-Norman John de Councy. Understanding the deep-rooted appeal of the cult of relics and the important role of saints and patrons to the local people, de Councy staged the discovery of the relics of St. Bridget, Column Cave, and Patrick in 1185. He exhumed their bodies and translated their lyrics into a new tomb at Downpatrick. These are Ireland's three saints: Bridget, Colum, and Kelly, and Patrick. There's one of them, Colum guy. He's the one that had the conversation with the Loch Ness monster. Would you believe? This process of discovery and translation was a common feature of cult of relics since late antiquity and was famously popularized by Ambrose, the Bishop of Milan, 386, when he wanted to build a new basilica. Indeed, the Shrine of St. James's finish line and the increasingly popular Camino di Santo di Capello was created after the miraculous discovery of the body of St. James at a politically expedient juncture in the reign of monarch Alfonso II, the Fons. Paca, does this sound like a grift?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I'm definitely getting grift. Regardless of the activities of the council, there has been a strong evidence since the 7th century that Patrick's body is in fact buried somewhere in Downpatrick. Our most detailed account is provided by a distinguished ecclesiastical scholar, Marchu, who composed the life of St. Patrick in the late 600s. This piece of holy writings is not a witness to the actual life of Patrick, but provides a valuable information on the creation of the cult of Patrick and the Irish Church in the 7th century. So this is more about what happened after than what actually happened in reality. Interestingly, we have not heard anything about a donkey yet, but I believe we should. By this time, prominent Irish churches such as Armagh, which claimed to have been founded by Patrick in the 5th century, and Kildare were vying for position as the leading Irish church. Armagh focused on establishing Patrick as the greatest saint in Ireland and apostle in Ireland. However, Armagh did not possess the actual body of Patrick. This left material tax with promoting Armagh and the cult of Patrick in an awkward situation. You notice anything interesting about where the two most prominent churches in Ireland was going to be? Because both of them's in Ulster. Not down in Dublin where you would expect it to be, if Ireland was as they say it is. Armagh's rival Kildare supported its own claims to supremacy by exalting the lavish tombs of the founder Bridget and her bishop canonised. Bridget's holographer Castorus described the vast numbers of pilgrims who visited Kildare drawn by these tombs. They were clearly the source of much revenue and vitally important for the monastery's political position. Castorius' grand portrayal clearly embarrassed Armagh, given its lack of any body remains for Patrick. Research being carried out by NUI Galway, I guess not universally, funded by the National University of Ireland, indicates that the veneration of the relics was vital to the church in medieval Ireland. It was a grift then, it's a grift now.
I've got a question.
Right, go for it.
At what point did it become, because I'm noticing a trend in it, did it become a thing whereby you had to have a chunk of your said saint in order to have your church?
I
want to open a church called Saint Whatever. Well, have you got a chunk of Saint Whatever? No. Well, then you can't have a church.
Well, here's the thing. It's possibly similar to the shark attacks in the ice cream. In that, if you get a graph of South Africa, Australia, parts of America where there's regular shark attacks, and you plot them, the peaks and troughs of how frequent they are, and you also get a chart of the ice cream sales, you'll see that the ice cream sales and the shark attacks go up and down at the same time. But that's not because sharks like people a taste of ice cream. That's because whenever it gets really hot, people like to swim in the sea, and the sharks can get them, or they like to eat ice cream, and the sharks can't get them on shore. I think what it is, if you want a church to St. Columbi or whoever it is, if you can source a chunk of St. Columbi and say that's going to be in the church, you'll get investors that are willing to say, okay, we'll pitch in some money to build your church, but we want to run the visitor centre. We want part of the grift that comes with these people who come to your church for this thing. So you possibly don't need a chunk, but it helps with the funding. Would that make sense?
That sounds very holy.
Oh, I don't think there's anything religious about any of this, by the way. Interestingly, there's nothing in the New Testament about the veneration of bones. There's bits in the Old Testament about stopping doing that and the sacrifices and all that. However, as Christians, the Old Testament is a history book. Our beliefs start with begin with the teachings of Christ, and he did not teach to do any of this bullshit. No. Where was I? Right. Marcia explains the lack of Patrick's bodily relics in Armagh by weaving an evocative tale, which owes more to the Bible and to political jurisdictional realities of the 7th century than the historical church. It explains that an angel appeared to Patrick before his death and instructed that 2 untamed oxen should be sent off carrying his dead body. The oxen stepped off at Downpatrick, according to Matcher, and there Patrick was buried. The angel further stipulated that a cubit of earth should be placed over the body to prevent its exhumation. So what they're saying is these 2 oxen went off, and they're the only 2 people that know where the body is. I'm guessing they're pretty clever oxen, because they also knew how to dig the hole and put them in it and put all the soil back on top of it. Yeah. This neatly explains why Patrick's body was not translated into a grand shrine of Mercuria. Indeed, Matthew's account elaborates that there was a fierce contention over Patrick's body after his death between warring factions, the O'Neill, Arthur, and the Ulad. The Ulad are the forefathers of, they're my people, forefathers of the Ulster Scots, what they would have been called. And the O'Neills are Celtic, and that's going back before the Celts had changed the U and I to an O for whatever reason. To prevent the shedding of blood, both groups were led astray by an illusion and the mercy of God, and neither could lay claim to his body. Another story about that is that they were fighting over it, but then they came to a river, and they were worried that neither of the warring factions could get it over the river safely, so they came to some form of a truce, and nobody knows what happened after that. Matthew's literary account of potential war being waged over Patrick's, which also were led to believe that at that time Ireland was a Celtic country and only had Celts, but yet withal we were having battles there. The date that they have put on it is very close to the largest battle ever fought in Ireland. 50,000 aside. On one side you had those O'Neills, and on the other side you had a mixture of Ulad, Scotty, Picts, who are Scots, Saxons, and Britons, and the Britons were the Welsh. Matthew's literary account of the potential war being waged over Patrick's body reflects a real problem of the Middle Ages. The theft of relics, demand for relics was so strong that trade in relics as commodities became a big business. Some relics were acquired in less than savory circumstances. The phenomenon of relic theft or kidnapping, as saints were thought of as still alive. Oh fuck, that's the other thing. They think these cunts are still alive. I've got news for you. They died. They may be knocking about somewhere in spirit form, but they are not alive. They have been unalived. And I hope they were unalive before they buried them. Highlights the considerable impact of saints' cults on society. And this is not just a medieval trend. Relics are still considered great targets for theft today. As we have seen recently with the heart of Lawrence O'Toole, while the precise location of Patrick's relics may never be known, his voice is preserved in the 5th century writings.
Well, I just want to throw this out there that actually this is true, and saints were actually not dead. They're not. They were abducted by aliens. And this was going to be a story that would feature on 42 and a half hours series they were going to do that never actually happened.
Packer, do you fancy digging into that? Because that is something I would definitely be interested in. That's a theory I haven't heard. I'd be very interested to learn something about that.
Well, there's a very good reason why that's a theory you haven't heard. Can you
Why-
guess why that is?
Did our guy just invent it?
No, I may have just made that up off the top of my head.
Packer, we could spread that.
I just did.
Yeah, we just did. That's what happened to the Saints. They got
Well,
sacked.
That's the theory of the saints that aren't dead. They're not dead. They're going to come back like in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Basically, they come back and Richard Dreyfuss is there to meet them.
Here's a question. See if you were to travel 40,000 miles at light speed and then 40,000 miles at light speed back. Your journey will be a far shorter duration than for those on Earth. So therefore, you could come back a couple of hundred years later, but you've only been
Gone a week,
yes,
right? Yeah, but they've missed you for generations. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That does-
It's, oh, what was that film? That other film, more recent one.
I don't think I've watched a recent film in quite a while. In fact, the last new releases I've watched, I believe, would be Dunkirk and Finest Hour.
Right.
If Emma G's still awake and listening, she could probably tell you if I've watched any recent films better than I could, but I don't think I have.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, sorry everybody. Yeah, no, I just made that nonsense up. Oh,
Yeah. Here, Brad, that wasn't a fully thought out thought. And I'm not quite sure about it yet either.
It's 186 million miles a second, isn't it?
Yeah. $80,000 miles is slower than light takes to travel in a second.
Oh yeah.
There's-
I mean, if I really like it, I'm quicker than that.
oh, there was 1 second. I need to call. Yeah. Oh fuck! I can't do this story. This is safe. There was when I was young, I was in the Territorial Army. We all went to Germany for the weekend, or we went to Germany for 2 weeks, and we get the middle Saturday off, and we're in Cologne in Germany. So a bunch of people. I was not one of them. I only heard about this story later. So a bunch of people decided to take themselves to a brothel. I'm sure you're shocked.
I'm flabbergasted. Carry on.
Well, there was one person there, one young lad. He was just turned 18. He joined the TA at 17 and a half. And he went. And he goes to this brothel with a whole bunch of older ones. And there was this really stunning woman there, and he took his fancy to her, and they're like, "Where you go? Just go and just like you don't need to be embarrassed. Everybody's here for the same thing." Blah blah blah. And the way this one worked, it was like a bar, and he called her over, and then off they went. And about a minute and a half later, he's walking back down again. He's back down to his pint and sits down, and they said, "Holy fuck, you were quick." He says, "What happened?" He says, I go up there, and in we go, and she's there. She's got the stockings, the suspenders. She took off her like bass thing, her tits are hanging out. It's absolutely gorgeous. I dropped my bag. She walked over to tickle my nuts, and I came all over her wrist. I said, and she just picked up a tissue and went, goodbye. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, this is secondhand information. The most exciting thing I did, the most exciting thing that happened to me there was I ended up eating horse meat that I didn't know was horse meat. It was in a fucking restaurant. It was just the cheap steak. And then somebody goes, me and 3 other people had all ordered the same thing because the menu's in German, and we ordered the bottom one of the fucking the steak options, which was the cheapest. It comes out and we're eating it. Somebody goes, How's that going? And it's actually, dead on, it's actually not bad. Blah, blah, blah. It's just, what sort of noise do you think that made before it was cooked? What do you mean? Says, whenever it was alive, what noise do you think it made? Moo. He goes, no, that thing went, because he knew the fucking menu. And then, so that's my most exciting story from Germany. The other thing that I can tell you is if you get a hold of an alcoholic liquor called apple quart, which it's not schnapps, it's similar to schnapps, but it's made out of the milch at the bottom of the barrel. It somehow gets you drunk from the legs up. Because there was about 5 of us sitting around the table playing cards and drinking this stuff. And after about an hour, we're all feeling totally fine. Everything's dead on. One of them says, I need to go to the toilet, stood up and fell on his ass.
Yeah, I've been there.
And it was like, what the fuck happened? And he goes, don't stand up. What do you mean? He says, you're all sitting there sober, aren't you? And we're like, I'm actually a wee bit buzzing, but nothing much. He says, well, whenever I stood up, I gave this bottle a shake and I'm drunk from head to toe. Fucking, and the rest was fucking right. What? That's nothing. I stand up and you stand up and you're like, fucking no, this is not good. So that's about my most interesting Germany story. Yeah, I can't tell this story. There's a transport regiment in Belfast, and Royal Corps Transport. Off they go to Germany, and they're all driving Land Rover ambulances. Right? You drive everywhere in a convoy, whether it be 2 ambulances, 3 ambulances, 5 ambulances, whatever. And the guy in the front has got a thing called a route card. So it says, start here, turn right, go 3 miles, such and such road, turn left, go 5 miles, such a line, turn right, whatever it is. So the guy at the front's got that, and what you do is you follow the vehicle in front. Okay? And 3 Land Rover ambulances come to a set of traffic lights at about 2 o'clock in the morning. The lights are red. The driver in the third one falls asleep at the wheel. Lights turn green. Land Rover 1 goes, Land Rover 2 goes, Land Rover 3 stops where he is. And the next thing Land Rover knows is he's just woke up because a vehicle behind him, not one of ours, a civvy vehicle, has beeped their horn to wake him up. And he's looked up and went, fuck, I'm lost. The only way he knows how to... So he starts off about 30 miles an hour. And off he goes, and he sees 2 Land Rover ambulances. Goes, fuck, there they are. And he gets caught up and he's right in behind them. Do you reckon they were the proper ambulances? No, they were not. These ambulances were going to Berlin, and he's just putting them behind them. And the road from West Germany to Berlin, which is in East Germany, has all sorts of checks and barriers, and the military police are on it. And at whatever time it was, they're expecting 2 Land Rover ambulances to come along, go onto this road, and travel to Berlin. And you've got the guy with a clipboard and sees the lights, Land Rover ambulance, registration number. Yes, that's right. That's right. 3rd Land Rover ambulance. That's not supposed to be there. And he's going, what the fuck? By the time he could get anybody to stop the barrier or whatever between the 2 ambulances, because at this stage there's about fucking an inch between the bumpers, he can't. And once he's crossed the barrier, they can't send anybody on that road. Yeah, Jack London, if you want to email me, Anglo says I'll send you his email address. But Anglo's going to need to send me an email first, then we'll come. Sorry. Right, so off he goes, and he's trundling down this road behind the 2 ambulances that are supposed to be there. And you've got the German police that are there, and they have checked it, and on all their forms it says 2 Land Rover ambulances, but there's 3 coming. It's like he's trying to invade fucking Russia on his own with his Land Rover ambulance. And by the time he got to the other end of the road, the military police had found out who was driving the Land Rover ambulance, where it came from, been on their major brigadier, saying, what the fuck's one of your men doing driving down that road? The attaché to Russia had been woken up and told to get on the phone and tell him this is some dickhead territorial that made a mistake to worry about. And there was this whole fucking diplomatic incident. As you can guess, see, whenever he got to the other end and out through the gates, nobody was pleased to see him. And then he got
Better than a war, though, wasn't it?
well,
Better than a war.
yeah,
Better
it's
than
a war. And East Germans, West Germans are all the same to me. Here, Jack, if you want your email in the chat, I think I can do that. I think you can do that, but you just need to not put the @ sign. I think it'll go through. Yeah, he ended up in the glass house.
Yeah, I would much rather be a live dickhead that nearly started a war than
Yeah,
a dead dickhead that actually started a war.
yeah. Well, this is true. That
Of those 2,
yeah, he was incredibly close to getting him and the other 2 Land Rovers done. Because once that goes fucking full bore, they're going to take out everybody.
Yeah.
That road has fences around it, and there's a shitload of potholes and all in it because it's had no repair work done on it. You've check gates. There's a speed limit on the road, and your time for getting from one gate to the other is worked out at you traveling 30 miles an hour and staying on a constant 30 miles an hour until you go through the other side. There isn't even time for the speed up. It's just that it's that tight, and he fucked the whole thing up because he wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah, so there's that. And with that, I think we're an hour in. We'll have another wee musical interlude. What do you fancy, Mr. Packer? Song wise?
I don't mind. Do
Right.
one of yours. Do
Right, yep. I will get one of mine on there. Present. Video file. I think we'll do harmony, melody, and rhyme. Oh, fuck.
so,
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, John? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. For from that grand house they tried to burn down, there's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform, then from those scarred timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing world harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before, forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, rhyme. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. You never realized you could not kill a dream. So we will gather together those scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking to 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people, harmony, melody and rhyme. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, rhyme. We created our society through family, God and tribe. The gods of water, air and land brought us through alive. The earth, the moon, the sun, each became a deity, independent parts of another trilogy. Is it a coincidence or is it just sublime that we now bring excellence in harmony, melody and rhyme? With power and wealth, you control the mainstream, but you never realized you cannot kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream. And we shall walk this journey together.
All right. There we go. That was Harmony, Melody, and Rhyme. Myself, Justice Kane, and Al Mac. I'm going to address this one. Boss is asking, who are the real saints? Right. In order to become a saint, the Church of Rome, otherwise known as the Roman Catholic Church, or the Vatican, they need to do a process called canonization, which is whereby they do some witchcraft mumbo shit, and a person that is dead becomes a saint. That's how, and unless the Vatican has you on their register of approved saints that have been through this process, and definitely none of their family members paid anything to the church to get them elevated at this level, that would not. Actually, that's a probability.
No, you can't fiddle this system. No.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You can't fiddle this system. Don't even go there. Okay.
Right. Packer, have you heard?
42, carry on.
Have you heard of purgatory? Have you heard of the concept of purgatory?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And how does purgatory work?
Oh, well, it's a punishment.
Right, yeah, but when does it happen? After death.
When you're dead, yeah.
Right, yes. Now, and the system is that whenever you die, instead of going to heaven or hell, you get popped into a waiting room where you get tormented all day, every day. They probably fucking open the door and like see how hot hell is, whatnot. And after a period of time, you get judged and deposited in heaven or hell.
Some people call it marriage.
Yeah, some people do call that marriage. Yes, but did you know that you can buy your way out of purgatory? That depending on how much money you give to which priest or bishop or whatever, they can do a bit of praying and not only get the process speeded up, but if they're high enough in the church and you give them enough, they can also get it sped up with a guarantee of passing to heaven. All right? That's the system as it works, as intended.
I'm sorry, when do you pay them for this? Is this before you die?
Oh, well, See, after you die, see every week whenever you turn up at mass, the priest will go, by the way, your brother's still in purgatory. Do you want to sort that out? Right. Yeah, fuck. He's been in there 3 months now. He must be getting fucking sick of it. Do you want to sort it out? I can speed
Have
this
you
up.
met my brother?
Right. Well, okay, your mother, your father, whatever, your family relative. So that's where the grift is. Yep, this is true. This is a very large part of why we had the Reformation and broke away from with the Catholic Church.
That's nasty.
Yep. So I would say that whenever it's already set up with the grift, that you can pay the right person enough money to get them in the heaven. Do you think you maybe pay a little bit extra on the QT and get them a saint over a period of time and cut the length of time between death and becoming a saint be connected to how quickly you can get that fund up to what they want? Because there is that. It's a bit of a weird thing. But yeah, so in order to be a saint, you need to have been canonized by the Roman Catholic Church. There's no other way to become one. And Patrick never had that happen. The Vatican have obviously looked at it because it's a bit hard to notice. It's a bit hard not to notice that everybody's having a big celebration from this person that you have decided was not a saint. I would also say that the Vatican are very quiet on not speaking out. It shouldn't be me, 42, on a Saturday night going, by the way, Patrick's not a saint. It should be the Vatican doing this, going, get that shit shut down. But I'm guessing there's some sort of money involved, and that St. Patrick is actually a net gain for the Roman Catholic Church, so they're looking the other way and letting it
The
go.
Irish are trolling everybody. They're trolling you. Paddy is not a saint, never was. They know it. They are trolling.
Well, they also tell you that they're Celtic and they're not Celts. Most of them aren't. Most of the people that ended up in Ireland are Vikings. The Celts would not be as but there's a lot more Viking DNA in Ireland than there is Celtic. So they're already spoofing on that one. So why not fucking spoof the saint? And it also there's issues with because a bunch of people decided we're going to call Patrick a saint, and everybody else in the world just went, right, okay, you go ahead and do that. But you're allowing lies to be propagated on a massive scale. And whenever you are willing to turn a blind eye to lies like Patrick's not a saint, it becomes incredibly hard for you to say that a man is not a woman. Because as soon as you go, here, hold on, that's factually incorrect, they go, do you remember that, that party you like in the middle of March, St. Patrick? He's not a saint. So you're going to have to apply that same level of right or wrong to that. You need to cancel all that shit. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, fuck no, just call yourself a woman. Maybe I'm reading too deep into that, but there you go.
Yeah, because you just made that incredibly easy for me in the opposite direction.
Pardon?
You made that incredibly easy for me in the opposite direction. Yeah, Patrick's not a saint. You just
Yeah.
made that easy. Yeah, that done. He's not a saint. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
Yeah.
for clarifying.
Good. Here's where the problem is. We're in a post-truth world, and people are surprised. People are surprised that the vast majority of people believed everything they were told about the vaccines. Okay.
I'm kind of glad when the post-truth, well, because only because of how old I am, because I did the things I did when no one had a camera pointed at me.
Yes.
I can't believe that people nowadays are still doing what we did whilst filming themselves. It's like, no, why would you do that?
Oh, there was a thing we used to do whenever we were teenagers called the Grand National. There was a straight, how do I describe this? Semi-detached houses with gardens, with hedges between the houses, right? So you've got.
I know exactly what you're going to say, yes. And it would be like maybe 25 to 50 houses in a row.
Yes, there
street.
was, but there was, on this particular bit, there was a big hedge at the corner of the street. With
Beaches Brook, was it?
Oh, fuck, it was, put it this way, a 14-year-old me, whenever I put my hand straight up, could not reach the top of it. Right? So that was this big fucking monster at the end. But the five hedges and one brick wall in the houses before it were all quite easily clearable. Right?
You get a good run up then.
Yeah. So I used to run down the street into the first garden, hop, 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 hop. Then you come to this fucking back one. And it's fucking there was one day actually, everybody, there was one day one night we were doing this, blah, 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 and I was in the lead, I was winning, right? Which was rare for me because there was normally somebody quicker than me. Fuck, I'm going to win this. And I jumped at the last one and actually literally climbed my way up the hedge and got up the top and over the top and dropped down the other side. And every fucker was fucking standing there waiting on me. Because instead of going over the last hedge, they came out of the gate and around the corner. Which, to be fair, which is what I would have normally done. Because I thought that stage the game was up and I'd seen other people around it. But no, nobody ever did that. It was just the one time that I was at the front that the top one, the really big, massive one got climbed. That was fun. That was good fun. Good fun. There was something else in the comments, I thought. Yeah, but I would quite fancy some footage of that. That's about the only thing. Or there was a row of porta cabins in the local technical college. Mr.
Geography in a porta cabin and history in a porta cabin.
Yeah, well, we used to get up on the M1 and run and jump the gaps between the porta cabins, and then try to get slowed down before the last one, because otherwise you just topple off the edge. I'm not sure. I know Milo to be clear, the people at the top of the men's rights movement were a lot less impressed with Milo and what he's doing than a lot of the other people. I'm not sure if he coined it or it was first. I think the term post-truth world has possibly been knocking about since before then, but it's what I call it because we don't have truth anymore, and somewhere we need to get back to that. Yeah, I believe we might have a lurker. And Mr. Lurker, if you want to jump on for a couple of minutes, please let me know. In fact, I might even be able to send you a link. No, I can't send you a link because it's on WhatsApp. But if you, Mr. Lurker, if you want to come on, type something and I will pop the link in for you. And it's only the Mr. Lurker. Oh, yeah. Paul Allen from A Voice for Men says he really doesn't care what color of cock Milo enjoys licking, but him talking about enjoying licking cocks is not good content or helpful to the movement in any way, shape, or form. I believe that's a fair, and I can't quote that one because he has said that in public. I've heard all the things he said in private, but that obviously doesn't get talked about.
Are you talking about Milo Yiannopoulos?
Yes, Milo Yiannopoulos.
And Paul Elam.
Paul Elam.
Right. Why are they having a conversation?
No, they weren't having a direct conversation, but
good, because that's unnecessary for the world. Even I can see that they don't need to talk to each other.
Yeah. Oh, but did you know Milo got himself quite involved with the men's rights movement for a while?
Oh, Milo can inject himself into places where, he doesn't necessarily need to be. I get that.
Yeah. Interestingly, what he did not do was ever appear at the International Conference of Men's Issues.
Right.
And that was not because Milo did not want to go.
Right.
And we have had other openly gay people there. In fact, one of the conferences I was at, there was a tranny fucking wandering about all weekend that was at it, but yeah, Angle hits it on the head. What we didn't want was his degenerate stuff.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will say is nobody in that movement is really worried about who you're fucking, how you're fucking them, or any of that stuff. We just don't want to fucking be a witness to it. We don't want to hear about it. Some slightly smutty stories and whatnot, yeah, fine. But
sorry, no, I just wondered for a second why that was even a thing, and it was just because he was trying to interject himself into it.
Yeah, he was trying to inject himself. He was trying to inject. He tried quite hard to get himself injected in that movement.
I came to the right through that movement.
Yeah. And then he went on with he did his straight pride march. Although I'm not sure if that actually came off and he had it or not, but he was trying for that. Is Milo gay or straight at the minute? The last I heard, he was he pronounced homosexuality. He had divorced the husband for the marriage bit of it, but they're still very good friends and share finances and stuff and what I think. But I think that, but having said that, that it's a couple of years since I've heard anything from him, so that could well be very old information. I don't know. To be fair,
Right, well, if he was ever gay, then surely he's still gay, because otherwise, then you could ungay a gay, and that would be an insult to gays, would it not?
well, actually, again, this is
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
this is very old information. So he may have he may have said something different. But what Milo said was that while he was very young, he got involved first of all with homosexuality, then with a lot of drugs and alcohol and parties and whatnot. And the homosexuality was part of a list of negative behaviors that were having a bad impact on him. And he worked through getting rid of them all, and he feels better. And what I will say is about conversion therapy. All conversion therapy is, it's the same as Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, whatever. You rock up to a counselor and say, I've got this set of behaviors and it's fucking my life up. Please give me some help and advice as to how I improve myself. And that's all conversion therapy is. You know, and you can have a talk, and Milo seemed to end up with the opinion that he had got involved in stuff whenever he was young and he hadn't reassessed it and blah, 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 and he ended up where he did, and life took him in a direction, and now he's fixing it. But to be fair, that's a couple of years old.
Oh, I'm not going to hold you to anything that, and I'm pretty sure Mono doesn't care what you say about him.
Oh, God, no. Milo has got zero flying fucks to give about what anybody says about him.
I'm pretty sure there's nothing me and you could possibly say about him this evening that might ever even get anywhere near his radar, as opposed to like upsetting.
Yeah.
Or being, insulting to him.
Yeah, the only dude from the Manosphere was Karen Strong. Karen's lovely. And whenever you're sitting talking to her, it's exactly the same as if whenever she's on the internet. There's no difference.
Karen, oh my God, yeah, she's an absolute legend.
Yeah. She okay,
yeah, I remember, like I said, that's kind of how I got to the right. And I remember sitting watching her talk for hours, just thinking, yeah, exactly that. Oh, and I felt like such a. Oh, I'm not even going to go into it, but yeah.
The most interesting thing is nobody beats the honey badgers to the bar. Nobody. And by fuck, Karen drinks like a fish. Like, Karen drinks a lot. The surprising thing about Alison is how small she is. Alison Tiemann is really fucking toady. She's up to, like, I'm not a tall person. She's up to about my shoulder. And do you have an interesting story about all of that? That I can share? I think what else happened at the conference. Oh, yes, I do actually have one thing. Whenever I went over to Australia for the conference, it was a catered conference, right? So come lunchtime, there's if you can imagine, like a cafeteria, but with, you know, those big park benches. There's about a bench on one side, a big table, and there's space for about 6 people on each side. So it's like that. There's a whole bunch of these tables, and the queue for lunch, at the very top of the queue, was 4 honey badgers. Paul wasn't at that one. Mike Buchanan, I think he was next. Californian guy that's no longer with us. But anyway, it was all the people that you would know from the internet at the very top of that queue. They went, got their food, and went to separate tables. So just got their food. One person went to table 1, one person went to table 2, one person went to table 3, one person went to table 4, one person went to table 5. So see, by the time all the like celebrities, for want of a better word, had got their food and plumped their arse at the table, the person after them was faced with the choice of whose table they go and sit beside. But they also made it really clear on day 1, we're here to talk to everybody informally. And you know, that was really cool. That's the most interesting thing that I seen at the Australian conference. Apart from our talks with Luke, who's been on here, he was there as well. But I met him a couple of years earlier in London. The conferences are really good, and all the talks from that are all available on A Voice for Men's YouTube channel. Brad, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what she's at the minute, to be totally honest with you, and I'm obviously nowhere near as involved with all those people as I was. Because, put it this way, I wasn't really making videos back then, but see, for me to get, whenever I off that, see, for me to get Paul or Karen or Alison or Williams on for sure, or get the honey, it would have been a case of sending the message, and they'll have done shows with the honey badgers. But I'm not as involved with all that day-to-day stuff as I was, and to be totally honest with you, I don't want to be, not because I don't think what they're doing is right or I don't like any of the people. It's I've got something else that I want to do. I will continue to poke for men's rights as best as I can, but there's something a bit more pressing, like fixing our fucking country. And with that, I think, let's see if I can find this. Let's see. Yep, here we go. With that in mind, fuck, I've got a notification. Right. Share screen. Present. Share screen. Yep. Can everybody see that? Oh, you can now. Possibly. Yes. This is about England Day. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about England Day, how it came to be, and all of that stuff. Please pay attention, people, and I'm going to hopefully put the link into chat if it lets me. Yes, there you go. So, England Day. The history of England Day. A group of friends were discussing events held annually in England, such as the Notting Hill Carnival, Polish Independence Day, Black History Month, and many other designated days, and were bereft of a day that truly celebrates the history, culture, and traditions of the English people. Once we had recognized the deficit in our calendar, instead of complaining that someone should do something, we remembered we are English and began forming a plan to rectify the situation. It's what English people do. And it should be a fucking English person reading this, I will just say. So a committee was formed and England Day was born. The purpose of England Day. England Day is a day where you celebrate your history, culture, and remember the sacrifices of generations past that brought us to the first and therefore longest lasting democracy that we now enjoy today. It's a day to embrace the George Cross, put up the bunting, and be your wonderful, eccentric English best. Anybody up for this shit? Given the nature of the English people, this must be done in a way that does not unduly intrude on the lives of your neighbours. So maybe start by decorating your back garden or yard until the rest of the street catch up. However, remember you're English. You have practiced doing just that every Christmas, where we celebrate separately with our family and friends on the same day. You are English. You have got this. So when is English Day? We decided to place England Day on the 11th of April. This is the date of the coronation of King William III, and therefore our constitutional monarchy and the English Bill of Rights came into force. That's the formation of your modern England. And by the way, it's the legislation of England, not the United Kingdom. That had not happened yet. This legislation began the process of placing all the levers of power in the hands of the English people, and required all laws to be created with the consent of the people. Quite important to understand, whenever you say we are ruled by consent and we are policed by consent, that means it's been through Parliament. And unless we start to put pressure on Parliament, that consent will become meaningless. Also, the date's proximity to St. George's Day, the 23rd of April, gives us an opportunity to celebrate both ancient and modern England in the same month. However, we are English. Therefore, we shall celebrate England Day on the Saturday before the 11th of April until such time as we successfully make the 11th of April a public holiday in celebration of the English people, history, culture, and traditions. And I think that's a good campaign to get on. We need a day off. You may ask, what events are suitable for England Day? The types of events organised for England Day will be as diverse and eccentric as the average English man, woman, or child. So expect anything. It could be creating a family tradition of going for a full English breakfast, or for something more highbrow, perhaps everyone reads a piece of Shakespeare. You can visit any of our ancient stone circles and get in touch with our ancestors and picture the struggles they faced to grow a community in the unforgiving climate we are accustomed to. Special consideration must be given to children. It must be fun and enjoyable day with activities they will look forward to replicating with their children in the future, along with age-appropriate historical content. Again, like the duck race, you gotta make it fun. However, that is just a nice day out. The day should feature the history of the forming of modern England, at least from the gunpowder plot through to the Glorious Revolution, and celebrate the rights that were won, such as the end of cruel and unusual punishment, one rule of law for all, and the freedom of speech, and freedom to publish written material without a license. Yes, we brought in a law. If you want to publish it, you don't need to go and get a license. You can just publish. something that people
That sounds like freedom of speech.
Yeah, well, sounds like something I would have brought up in my defense.
Publish whatever you want. You don't need a license. That
Yeah.
sounds very, very much like freedom of speech.
Yeah, well, see if I had published something on a lamppost, I'd have had that in a legal defense.
What in like sticker form, maybe?
Yeah. I would have made that case all about this. Perhaps his legal team didn't know that legally in this country you're allowed to publish without a license. We also need to realize what rights we do have and make sure that we receive them. Rights are like muscles. Without exercise, they will disappear. We don't exercise our rights, so they will disappear. And indeed, the reforms that followed, such as the Representation of Peoples Act in 1921, that gave both men and women of full age voting rights regardless of their ethnicity, religion, or political opinion. By the way, all those people that claim that Catholics in Northern Ireland didn't have a vote until 1921, please show me how they were denied a vote. Didn't get a vote until the mid-70s. Please show me how you were not included in the 1921 Representation of Peoples Act, because you're talking bullshit. We believe those are important rights and values put in place by our forefathers that need to not only be celebrated but protected. England Day into the future. We, the committee, hope that the people of England will grow this event year on year. We would dearly love to see our simple idea become street parties across the land, or perhaps in the countryside, groups of intrepid youths hauling firewood to the top of hills to light beacons, all with proper safety precautions for wildlife. Don't forget, we are English. To see their fires answered by others doing likewise. The options are limitless. Come on, England. Let's have some good traditional fun. Who are we? We, the National Organising Committee, are Julian, Dick, and George, and Timmy, and Fagan, and the Nancy, because we've got Oliver involved now as well. If these names sound familiar, that's because they should be. The aim of this project is to improve the level of national pride, not become famous. Did I mention we are English and therefore have English traits? We also thought we needed the famous five on the job, as they always come up trumps. However, at some point we may need some street smarts and somebody handy with a rolling pin. So we've also brought in some East End characters from Oliver, so we've got that covered. On a serious note, we chose code names because we want to be able to hand our roles and responsibilities to a younger generation seamlessly, and having famous characters from literature for the committee members as opposed to titles seemed to be the best way to achieve that. We are also mindful that there may be perverse pushback against English people looking English for the day. We believe having the famous five as the organisers should keep that debate on the issues where it belongs and not on the organisers. This fact alone should tell you why we need and why an England Day is needed. And with that, I shall go back and look at the comments. No idea, Linda. Actually, it was Dick from the organising committee that wrote that. As part of all of that week in April, I will, if anybody can organise a Morris dancing for the day, please fucking do it. If you know any Morris dancers, send them a link to that Substack and say, please run an event. Okay? And the rest is, think of something that you could do. Join the Facebook page. Look it up on Facebook. It's on Facebook. Or put comments in the Substack of what you're going to do. And that,
even if it is on this day, we are going to have toad in the hole with mashed potato and gravy.
oh, is that what you're doing?
What?
Is that what you're doing? Are you having toad in the hole for England Day?
Well, I don't know yet, but you know what? If whatever I eat on England Day, it's not going to be lasagna or
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be English.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I will be doing is there's going to be a poetry event here. I'm going to make a community post before Monday. I'll guarantee that for before Monday. And anybody can nominate their poems. If anybody has written their own poem, something about England, we'll either get you on to recite it, or you send it to me and I'll recite it, or you can choose other famous English poems and we will read those. But it's going to be a poetry for England Day. This channel's doing a poetry event for England Day. That's what I'm doing. Emma G is obviously involved in that. We will see what else we can get. But please, people, get involved with us. Do something. And people go, what are you doing? Well, I'm doing something for England Day. Slowly but surely, we can turn this into an event.
Right. Honestly, the easiest challenge on earth, right? Do something English for England Day, right?
Yeah.
England, the English, conquered and invented 95% of everything. So good luck finding something. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's not like and by the way, using your telephone does not count. Oh fuck. Make some clapshot potatoes. What is clapshot potatoes?
I don't know.
That's something I don't know. I know all about potato bread. Do you ever make bread out of potatoes? No?
No, I'm carnivore for 2 years, everybody, now.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten bread in over 2 years.
I don't know why it's called bread whenever it's made from potatoes.
No.
No, we honestly make bread out of mashed potato. It gets mixed with flour and something else, I'm not quite sure, and it becomes potato bread. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. Anglo's quoting. Well, Mr. Packer, we're coming up in 2 hours. It has been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much for coming on this evening.
Thanks for having me.
I really enjoyed doing this, and it was a bit of an impromptu. Al Mac was lurking, and I did say to him that if he wanted to come on, that he could send him a link. But I got a message back saying he was lurking from bed, so that's not happening.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
Al Mac, what are you wearing?
Ollie C. Bass has just called it.
Go on, yeah.
Yeah, eat the bugs. Dawn, I will get back to you with some tips about potato bread. I will consult experts in the field. I know some experts in the field of potato bread. Their potato bread's good. Question is whether or not they're going to tell me how they make it is another matter, but we will see. And I think at that point, with that, I'm going to put up Eat the Bugs. I will put up your comments on the screen, and that will be a wrap. eat sea bugs.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy. And you will eat the bugs. Eat the bugs.
Oh shit, man. Eat the bugs? You got me wrong. You got me wrong. You ever seen a cave drawing of somebody with a spear hunting a mosquito? Well, me either. We eat meat and we have choices. You cook the hedgehog right? It tastes like chicken. Fucking chicken. I ain't eating your bugs. I ain't eating your bugs. I started off with nothing and I'm never going back. I'm not getting on your progressive track. With Agenda 2030, I refuse to engage. I can see where it is going and it's just another cage. I've got hedgehog, I've got rabbit, I've got wild hog. Fuck it, I could even move to Alaska and get me a nice caribou. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it, you're trying to take away what I fought so hard to get, so I'm going to say no to your cattle car train. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Own nothing and be happy? I've seen the people with nothing and they don't look happy. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Own nothing and be happy? I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit, man. You got me wrong. You got me so fucking wrong. There are millions of us in the UK, billions worldwide, unvaccinated, striding out into our third winter of death with not a care in the world. Eating pig, eating cow, eating chicken, and we will not conform. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Hey, Klaus Schwab, this is 42, and I want the word with you, motherfucker.
This is the fourth industrial revolution. We have a window of opportunity for the great reset. Technology is a critical weapon. History is truly at a turning point. We can shape a better world, and we will reglobalize to make it a better place. So will own nothing, and so will be happy, and so will eat the bugs.
Why we got me talking? Why is United Nations in charge of Stonehenge? Keeping me away from the stones? That's not world heritage, that's British heritage. You're getting to the point where the people just want to be left alone and going to get involved. Tell me again, why is United Nations running Stonehenge? Fuck it. Stonehenge, New Games, a fucking Perry Mountain Range, now all by UNESCO, so you and I can never go. Fuck your 15-minute cities and your Internet of Things. We are going back to nature, see what that life brings. We had a good look at the barren new day, so we hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid.
You will have nothing, and so will eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. Welcome to the resistance.
Fuck it.
Okay, everybody, Paka has been Paka, I have been 42, and you lot in the chat have been fucking amazing as always. Good night, God bless, see you all next week. I'm out of here, goodbye.